Are you suffering from brain rot? If so, do you want to fix it? If you said no, take a look at your screen time and come back to this video once you're done. If you're averaging a triple-double across the board, it might be time to think again. Alright, now that we're all on the same page, we gotta figure out a way to fix our minds. The solution is to stay away from cheap dopamine. You know, the type of pleasure you get from doing absolutely nothing important. Some sources of cheap dopamine would be endlessly scrolling through TikTok or constantly playing video games. But as I'm sure many of you guys know, simple does not equal easy. This is because your brain has become addicted to cheap dopamine. So the first step to clear brain rot is to eliminate all sources of cheap dopamine. To do this, you need to take control over what you're seeing and how long you're seeing it. The best ways to do this is to either delete all the apps that are causing your addiction or limit the time you have on them. I would recommend you limit the time you have on the apps instead of straight up purging everything on your phone. To do this, you can go into your phone's screen time settings and then limit the time on whatever app you need. I would say you limit your time to about an hour or less. You might be wondering, why limit the time you have on the apps instead of straight up deleting them all? Because if you delete them, you spend 0 hours on the apps. Yeah, you would be spending no time on those apps, but going from multiple hours every single day to just 0 is a huge jump. And while your determination might get you through the first few days, withdrawals will bring you back quickly. But if you think you have an iron will not even the Mexican cartel could break, then go for it. But I would not recommend it. Now, all that being said, you still need to filter your content. To effectively filter your content, you should unfollow all low-effort AI slop. You should only really be following your friends, family, and any other important figure in your life. So, we've dealt with the source of the content. That means we're done now, right? No, that was actually the easiest step. The hardest ones are yet to come. The next step is to fill that void you created. And by that, I mean the time you got from cutting out the sources. Replacing social media and video games with the wrong activities can actually reset your progress. So to make sure that you can properly progress through the healing process, you can use what I call the Holy Trinity of Growth. Yeah, it's a lame name, but you get the idea. To use this, you need to challenge yourself physically, intellectually, and spiritually. That way, you're not just growing, but you're thriving as an individual. First up, you gotta improve yourself physically, because exercise is shown to improve focus and your overall mood. Now, regarding what you do, it's really up to you. But I would say at the bare minimum, you exercise 3 times a week. That way you're properly growing, but you're not training for an Ironman. However, if you're more athletic, you can do more. Just remember to take rest days, because they're just as important, if not more important, than the actual exercise. If you don't know how to work out, you can go on Google or YouTube and search up some workouts either at home or for the gym. In addition to this, you should really be focusing on your sleep schedule and your diet. So to improve your mental capabilities, you need to do something that makes you learn complex information. Right now, pause the video and think of something that you've always been interested in but never got to. Now that you have your topic, go out and learn about it as much as possible. You can watch videos, you can go on websites, you can even go to the library and get some books. It doesn't really matter how you get your information, as long as you're learning, that's all that matters. And if you ever get bored of your topic, you can always switch. Finally, how do you improve yourself spiritually? There's a lot of options out there, and I'll just list a few. To start off, you can meditate a few minutes every day. If that's not your thing, you can also journal. And while you're journaling, you should be asking yourself questions like, how can I improve? Or what am I going to do the next day to make myself better? Asking those types of questions can really help improve your mental cognition. Alternatively, if you have something else you want to do, then go for that instead. And that's all for this video. If you're actually going to try to clear your brain rot, then good luck. But I'm sure most of you aren't. So if you at least enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel.